I was designed to save the world. People will look to the sky and see hope. I'll take that from them first. There's only one path to peace. Their extinction.
Tried to create a suit of armor around the world. But I created something terrible. Artificial intelligence. It's called the Ultron program.
I'm sick of watching people pay for our mistakes.
Isn't why we fight so we can end the fight and go home?
Well, you amazingly failed.
Here we all are, with nothing but our wit and our will to save the world. So stand and fight.
No way we all get through this.
I got no plans tomorrow night.
I'm always picking up after you boys.
We can tear them apart. From the inside.
That's the best you can do! You had to ask.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So this is going to be my breakdown of this final Ultron footage. Obviously, we get to see the Vision, lots of cool stuff. I'm also giving away a subscription to the Marvel Collector Core. That's like their Funko Pop giveaway thing. It's the only way to get the Hulkbuster Funko. So I'll announce the winner of that next week. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment below. So let's go. So this is a better shot of Ultron's lair in Sokovia. That's the fictional country where this is taking place. It sounds a lot like this Kurt Busiek run where he took over this fictional country called Slorenia. This shot here from the end of the trailer, it looks very similar to this shot from the comic book. So I think a lot of the story was lifted from this. We get confirmation that Ultron is working with Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, or he co-ops their services. It'll be interesting to see what happens to make them switch sides and help the Avengers. This shot here is obviously the new Quinjet. It's also an allusion to Ultron and the Vision, just two sides of the same coin. Joss Whedon's teased them as being this Cain and Abel type story, you know, good brother, bad brother. So when he says there's only one path to peace, their extinction, he's talking about man in general, like all of man, not just the Avengers. And here's where the destruction porn starts. New shot of the Avengers Tower. In this movie, all the Avengers are living in this. If you remember at the end of the first Avengers film, when Tony Stark was looking at the plans with Pepper Potts, they have rooms for all the Avengers. This is a shot of Ultron putting himself together. It looks like this jumps backwards in time, like the first time that Ultron crashes in on the party and he's made him an old Iron Man drone that looks like it got blown up in an explosion. This looks like it leads up to that. Joss Whedon said that we would see an evolution to Ultron. They even showed, this is actually the picture of Ultron 1.0. Tony Stark kind of explains it in this scene too. He starts out as a peacekeeping program that evolved during the Chitauri invasion in the first Avengers film, and then that's when things go off the rails and he starts to evolve. When he says he was trying to wrap the world in a suit of armor, what he was trying to do was create an army of Iron Man drones to do the job of the Avengers in cleaning up Hydra. Cleaning up the world in general too, but mostly taking care of the biggest threats. Ever since the end of Winter Soldier, the Avengers have been flying all over the world, cleaning up messes. So they're super exhausted, and Tony Stark is like, wait, I got a plan. I could totally build robots to do this for us. What could go wrong with that plan? Here's more confirmation on the Bruce Banner, Black Widow relationship. This is the money shot here with all the Avengers flying through the air at the same time down this snowy hill chase. It's funny because if you saw the Ninja Turtles movie, they did a shot exactly like that, where the Ninja Turtles were in a fight while they were flying down a hill. That's Loki's scepter with the mind gem in it. A lot of people are wondering what this is. It just looks like an advanced shield carrier taking people to safety. It could be Iron Man's mobile armory. In the comics, he has an armory that he flies around with him that has all kinds of different armors depending on what his needs are. Captain America laying it into Ultron final boss form with his shield. It's kind of up in the air as to how Wakanda figures into this movie because we don't meet Black Panther until Captain America Civil War, but Ultron in the comics has always wanted to get his hands on vibranium to make himself as strong as possible. Ulysses Claw, supposed to be in the film, so we could get some teasers for Vibranium, maybe not. Black Widow picking up Captain America's shield. There was a lot of teasers earlier about everyone trying to pick up Thor's hammer, and Black Widow in the comics has picked up Thor's hammer. I think there'll be a lot of playing around with different Avengers picking up other Avengers weapons. I don't think we're going to see any other characters wield Thor's hammer though. That would be awesome. Captain America picking up Thor's hammer for real. When Ultron says we can tear them apart from the inside, he's talking about Scarlet Witch taking control of their minds. So we might get some really twisted flashbacks. She also might be mind controlling the Hulk here, just because this shot comes right after he said that. Mind controlling the Hulk to go crazy on everyone. This shot of Iron Man dragging the Hulk up the building is actually kind of a reverse shot of the Hulk catching Iron Man flying down in the first Avengers film. Here's confirmation of that. So here's Scarlet Witch actually controlling Black Widow's mind. Quicksilver giving it to Cap. We don't really know what the extent of Scarlet Witch's powers are going to be, but it looks like she has a form of tactile kinesis. So it looks like she's going to be throwing them around quite a bit too. And this is a nice mirror for that Avengers Assemble moment, you know, when the camera spun around them in the first Avengers film, they started taking it to the Chitauri. Thor challenges Ultron, so Ultron sends his army of replicants after him. It even looks like Iron Man has different armor in this than he does earlier in the trailer. It's kind of hard to tell, so his armor might change throughout the film, just like it did in the first Avengers film. Here's a nice final shot of final boss form Ultron. If you remember, there was promo footage of him from Comic-Con where he looked different, so that might be his second form before he turns himself into this. This is what leads to that promo art that they released last year too. The Avengers getting buried in replicants. And here we see the Vision. I wonder how many color swatches it took to get him right. Joss Whedon said that they spent forever just trying to get the color of his face right, that shade of red, which I think is kind of funny. And if we look here, does this not look like the Soul Gem from Thanos' gauntlet? Don't want to call it too soon, but I believe that the Soul Gem is what makes the Vision Vision. He obviously starts out as AI, but he has a soul. He has a silicon soul. That's a big part of the character. And the Soul Gem would be the logical way within the context of this movie to explain that. You guys can let me know if you agree though. Do you think that this is the Soul Gem? I know there's a lot of question as to how he gets created in the film. He's going to save the day. Obviously, he's going to turn on Ultron, but we don't know if they changed it so that Tony Stark also created the Vision, or if it's like the comic books and Ultron created him. Thematically, I think it's a little bit better if they follow the comics, but they've already changed so much, so I'm not going to freak out if they change even more. So let me know what you guys think of this trailer. Let me know what you're most excited about after seeing this. Personally, I'm most jazzed up about the Vision. I really want to see him in action. My next bonus Avengers video is probably going to be a Scarlet Witch video, just a character video from my favorite Scarlet Witch stories from the comics, just because I haven't done a video on her yet, so be sure to subscribe to get that. Feel free to leave requests though. I'm working on a new Arrow video for Death in the Family, like Batman Death in the Family, so I'm going to explain that from the comics for those that haven't read that story run. While you guys wait for that to drop, you can click here for my top 5 Ultron stories from the comics, and you can click here to catch up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It came back last night. They're doing Inhumans. It's going to be awesome. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys tonight. Now let's all do the thing.